All right, let's do a quick mic check. All right, I think that sounds good. Let me pop out chat. All right, chat, get you in the right place. All righty. Okay, there we go. That's correct now. All right. I the camera's up in just a minute. All right, there we go. All righty. Hello. Pull my hair back a little bit, and then I can start. I was debating if I was going to work on this painting on stream or not. I think I even told someone I wasn't, and then I decided that I am running out of time and I need to get it done sooner than later. So I guess I'll be working on it right now. Hey, Des. Des says I'm present, going to set up the paint as well. Nice, Des. And welcome. I'm glad to hear you're going to be painting. All right. Get the gloves out. Get the palette out and everything. It's so, let me see. I don't think you can see it there. 1 second. Let me get something to show this off a little bit. Um, oh, I'll do it in just a second. Let me get the paint out first. Okay, here we go. Yeah, look at this. That's so cool. The difference, like because of the reflected light. Like here it is, gold at this angle, but when I put something white underneath it, it just changes it so much. That's so cool. I don't know how I'm gonna photograph that ever and make it look right, but I mean, come on, that is cool. metallics are like that. The photo you sent me showed the gold pretty well. Yeah, that was it it did, but that was a literally just a cell phone photo I took. Um, you know. But yeah, it's going to be photographing it and making it look good is going to be challenging. But whatever. I'll figure it out. Or I won't. Either way. Today, what I'm going to do on this is my goal today is to touch up some of the edges in certain spots. Um, a few minor corrections here and there. And then um, uh, some of these spots need to be covered a little bit. And then that's it. So if I get through all of that super duper duper fast, I have other paintings to work on. So I can technically start a second painting after this one if I get through this real fast. Um, how likely I am to do that, I don't know. Usually, I've tried it in the past, and every time I say I'm going to do it, I don't. So I'm not even going to say I'm going to do it. I'm just going to say it's an option if I can. If I can, I'd like to because it'd be great to be able to get another painting done quickly. But I realize that there's a good chance I won't be able to do it. Hi, Michael. Welcome. How are you doing today? Let me just 1 second. Get all right. Let's see here. I'm trying to get my reference and my what's it called? My reference and my painting aligned so I can see what I need to kind of adjust. I mean, like I said, a lot of the there's like a couple of little changes that are so small. I'm good. Hope you are well. I'm doing all right. I'm just working on getting this painting finished. Um, I added the gold, which is really cool. I like how it came out. Uh, I'm moving my hand over so you can kind of see it. I think it came out really cool. There's just like one or two spots, maybe a little more than that, but a couple spots that I need to fix. And then some of this is too much, in my opinion, because it doesn't look like the kintsugi cracks. So I just want to go in and kind of touch up some of the edges and stuff like that. And then there's a couple of like minor tweaks here and there that I'm going to probably do, just very, very subtle things. Um, yeah. And then if I have time, I have another painting to work on. Actually, I have two other paintings to work on that aren't even my. I have my self-portrait that I also still need to work on, but that one's getting sidelined until May, probably. All right. However, I do have to oil out because some of this because a lot of um, her head and stuff has sunken in quite a bit. Such a huge difference. I don't usually, my stuff doesn't usually sink in much. I'm actually surprised that it did. I don't know why it did. I am using a painting surface that I don't always use, so maybe that's why. It's one I've used in the past, but I haven't used a lot recently, so maybe I don't remember it very well and it's sinking. That's fine. I'm also being, I want to see if like the gold starts to shift when I go over it, because if it does, I'm going to have to stop painting immediately. But yeah, I'm honestly surprised with how much this the paint the has sunk in. Another thing I didn't think about, I just thought about it, was one of the reasons it might have sunken is because I'm using uh what is it? Nickel yellow. That also might be. Some pigments tend to sink more. And if nickel yellow might be one of them, I don't know. A lot of the earth tones tend to sink more. And my black, which is also technically an earth tone, also has a tendency to sink a little more than some others. So that could be it too. Um, I don't know. But that looks so much better now. At least to me. I don't know how it looks. It's hard to tell sometimes on camera, but to me, huge difference. The oiling out. All right, let's see. I suspect that this is all dry. Yeah. Oh, that isn't surprising. Usually my stuff doesn't dry out super fast. However, I did use some alkyd medium last time. So, although some of it was still wet, to be fair. So um, I'm using an alkyd medium to speed up drying time right now. I don't normally do that, but sometimes, you know, sometimes you just need it to be dry faster. But I'm using um, grams solvent-free alkyd medium, so I don't have to worry about fumes. Such a pretty color. Can't get over that. And I don't know that I ever will like the cyan color. It's just pretty. I mean, you know, I like a lot of colors, so, but the cyan is one of my favorites, I guess. I also like the magentas a lot. I'll be honest, I think yellows are my least favorite. Like the yellow spectrum of things. I think those are probably my least favorites overall. I did not oil out the background, so now I'm actually getting quite a bit of dry brushing, which I should have anticipated. I forgot I was going to do anything with the background, honestly. I have some edges I need to get to up here. I'm not usually the biggest stickler for hitting all the edges, but in this painting, I've found it pretty distracting. So trying to get to all the edges here. I don't know why I'm so bad at hitting all the edges. It's like I have a blind spot to it. I don't even notice when I don't do it. All right, I got all the edges. Now let's get some of the edges of the gold. I don't want to ruin some of the like, what's it called? The like randomness of it and the, you know, organic nature of it, I guess. But I don't want to keep all of it the way it is either. So we'll see. I will say so far I'm liking the Alkyd medium more than Galkyd. I haven't used the other one that's everyone loves. Can't remember what it's called right now. But so far I like it more than Galkyd. Having said that, I don't think it dries as fast as Galkyd. So, if you need that like super fast drying, I think Galkyd's faster. But it's more pleasant to work with, that's for sure. What is that other stuff called? Liquin. That's it. Liquin. I've never used Liquin. I know some people love it, but apparently the fumes on it are uh pretty strong, which is why I've never used it. The fumes for the gold glue, by the way, were pretty damn strong too. I actually had to do it in my garage because of how strong the fumes were. Right now I'm just doing like little details and trying to match my colors so that it doesn't look like, I went on the edges and like touched up. But the gold does affect the paint that goes over it. So it's interesting. Technically, I'd planned for all of this to be empty, but I don't think I'm gonna make all of it empty now. All right. So just don't want it to be such large patches. Or at least if there are large patches, I want to plan it a bit more. However, it is like a melding of organic and inorganic stuff. So if it's not perfect, I think it will look fine too. I really should just get my stool out here instead of killing myself bending over like this. Ah, yeah, let's be smart about it. Or try to at least. I can lower it. Come on. There we go. Hey, that's actually helpful. Who would have thought? I wish I could have it zoomed in closer for everyone. I know I've said that in the past, but I really do. There is actually something I forgot to paint in this area. I keep forgetting it. So let me see if I can do it now. All right. Hold on. Where does it go? Uh, okay. All right. I keep forgetting to paint this. So let's see if I can do it now. Hey Don Lee, welcome. How you doing? Michael says, gotta go, 11 p.m. here. Hey, no worries. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Sorry I didn't get started sooner. Yeah, just, I tried. I just couldn't manage it today. I just have a lot on my plate at the moment. But yeah, have a good night and thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Hey, Don Lee, how are you doing? What are you up to today? By the way, for anyone who doesn't know, Don Lee streams on Twitch. He's an artist. He does digital art and sometimes some gaming stuff and a lot of pop culture related things. It's very fun streams. You're welcome. I'll shout you out while Dez gives you a hard time. Uh, your back is pissed off today, so I'm waiting for the aspirin to kick in. Oh man, sorry to hear that. Yeah, I know the feeling. Uh, I've been dealing with stuff like that too lately. Yeah, it sucks. I hope you feel better soon, man. You haven't streamed lately? Des is right. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Oh yeah, Des, how's the new computer? Did the updates fix it? It's an Asus ProArt. Ooh, fancy. Oh, it's color accurate? Oh, that's awesome. That's something my computers are lacking at the moment. I used to care about that and then I stopped. No, none of my stuff is color accurate anymore. This says 24-inch. Anything bigger will take up too much space since there's two on my desk table. It depends on your workflow, you know. When I was doing storyboards, I um I ended up buying a I think it's a 40-inch monitor that's also it's a smart TV monitor thing. It's not very color accurate, but um because when I was working, I had my drawing tablet that I would draw on the screen, and then I needed to have my reference images, the script, the chat, you know, all of this stuff up. I wanted a big screen that I could just have everything, and then my work screen would be different. So that's what I did. It is very big though, and it's a little absurd, but it works for me, or it did for when I was doing that. I don't use drawing tablet with screen. I don't like them much. So I totally get that. It's one of those things for when you're doing line work, like storyboards, it's so much faster. When you're doing painting or retouching, it is really unnecessary. But for line work and inking and storyboarding, it's so much faster. Ergonomically, though, it's much worse. But yeah. And also if you want one that's color accurate, they're way, way more expensive, which, just mine isn't color accurate. It's not that it's like horribly inaccurate, but it's just not calibrated properly. This one wasn't expensive. Let me find out on it. Sure. I appreciate it. Oh, suddenly I could see inking being faster for sure. Though I do really like using the drawing tablet, no monitor, since your hand isn't in the way when you're drawing. No, absolutely. That's why it's also ergonomically, like your shoulder being up on the drawing table and everything versus like where you can rest your arm and everything. It's without a doubt better to use a tablet than it is a monitor one. Um, but for storyboards, I'm telling you, it's not even close because it's really just an accuracy thing, right? Like the more times I have to repeat a line, the slower I am. And storyboards aren't like inking like, a comic book. It doesn't have to be that accurate, but it still has to be accurate. And also tracing. It's easier to trace to if you need to like essentially like soft animate or something, to make small changes. So yeah. But yeah, and the funny thing is you would think like getting everything color calibrated would be so important. And depending on what you're doing with it, it can be, but I'll tell you, I've done so many photo retouching jobs for companies and their stuff isn't even color calibrated and you're like, how is that even possible? But yeah, surprisingly. All right, so I cleaned up some edges and stuff. I know it's hard to see there, but now it doesn't have that like super big chunky feeling. It's more like shards, which is more the intention of it, the whole thing. You can kind of see it. Here, let me. But yeah, thanks, Des. I appreciate it. Hopefully, I didn't overdo it with the paint over the edges. I don't think I did. I think I kept a lot of the like organic aspect of it while still kind of shaping it. All right. Just a second. I'm not leaving. Leaving my room for a second, but I'm not. Just checking. I feel like the AC isn't on or something. Huh. Okay, so it is on. Jeez, it's hot in my room for some reason. I'm back, Donley. I can see you. Chaos and mayhem. It's gone that long. All right, let's see here. I feel like this needs a little bit of cleanup, a little more still. It's just a little too messy. Hey, Donley. You switched over to Twitch, I see. I think this part is where I'm like right here. You know what? I covered up a little line here and I think I made a mistake. So let's see if I can uncover it. I cannot. Okay. Oh well. Hey, Cookie Monster, welcome. One second. I can't see your text. I'm in a I'm too low to see it right now. One second. There's only Muppet here, Ella. uh, true. True, true, true. You are indeed the only Muppet here. How are you doing, Cookie Monster? Conley says, I think he's talking about my Beaker Muppet avatar. Oh, yeah, that's right. So you're not the only Muppet. I totally forgot. Be honest, I'm trying to think. I don't think I was the biggest Muppets fan as a kid. I'm trying to think. I think I watched them sometimes, but I don't think I was like a big fan. I was always a fan of Cookie Monster, but that's mostly because I like cookies, you know, if I'm being honest. Cookie Monster says, oh, thanks. I mean, although I think if I were to rewatch the Muppets, I get the feeling that I would feel a special connection with what is his name? Groucho or uh is it Groucho or Grout? I can't remember now. I feel like he would speak to me though. Oscar the Grouch. That's it. Oscar the Grouch. Yeah. Although, at the same time, I don't know. I feel like, well, I'd have to watch it again. It's been a long time, but he's he's not really a mean character, is he? I can't imagine it's the Muppets. I can't imagine they have too many characters that are truly mean. He's grumpy and like stinky stuff. Well, I don't like stinky stuff, so that's already a not a good sign. He lives in a trash can. I guess you'll have that. Thanks, Donley. Appreciate that. Look, I'm just saying, just because I live in Texas doesn't mean you can call it a trash can, okay? Now Oscar lives in a trash can, man. Hello. No, I know. I know. That part I remember that he lives in a trash can. I think it's just the grouchiness part that like kind of speaks to me because I can be grouchy. Cookie Monster says I love Texas. That's good. Is it? Have you been to Texas, or is it just what you know from online? Or do you live in Texas? I thought you lived over. I thought you lived in another country. You know it from movies. That's fair. Yeah, I'll be honest. I mean, other than knowing it from the movies, I moved here without really knowing Texas. Um, but Austin's a great city. I can't speak too much to the rest of Texas because I haven't been. I've like been there for brief moments, but I haven't like stayed anywhere for long enough to really have an opinion. But Austin's a good city. Austin also has a very robust uh, um, not public transit. It's a transit assistance, like public transit assistance for people. So, for like blind people and stuff like that. I didn't know that was a thing, but it turns out it has a pretty good one, which is really great. I wish I wish we had good public transit just in general, but uh, this is America, so keep dreaming, I suppose. I don't know why New York is the only major city in America that gets like fantastic public transit. Conley says at the moment it's a good time not to visit the states. Sadly, oh yeah. Cookie Monster says I'm in Western Europe. Leah never been to the states. Yeah, um, I think Donley's right now is not the best time to visit the states. It doesn't seem like it, at least. I would love, I would love to travel the world and see, go to Europe, Eastern Europe, a bunch of different places. The only real limitations I have to the places I want to go is, I would say like obviously I don't want to go anywhere that's like relatively speaking unsafe because obviously. And then the other thing is just for me personally, places that aren't very vegan friendly because I really just don't want to, you know, travel and have that be a constant issue. But other than that, I pretty much would love to go travel the world and go to different places. Road trip, where we going? I mean, the easiest places would just be like they're not cheap, but they're, England and Europe and just those are the like straightforward, easiest places. I would love to do a trip, but I would also, Eastern Europe sounds awesome. The countries that I'm a little more hesitant about are like what's it called? Um some of the um some of the Asian countries, uh, and I'd say like also India and South American countries. Uh, Purely, I'm talking purely from for me from a dietary perspective. Like they don't seem like they're the most uh, easy or friendly about that. That's like the only thing I'm talking about right now. It's just like I don't know how I'd manage in certain places. Having said that, there's probably quite a few states in America too where I don't think they're all that friendly to people who with certain dietary issues. So that is what it is. This is, yeah, don't go to the States, come visit Canada. Um, yeah, I mean, I've heard good things about Canada as long as you're not in war with them, they're really nice. But yeah, I'd love to visit Canada too. I've technically been to Canada numerous times, but I don't consider being stuck in the airport as visiting a place, you know? It's just not the same. So I don't really count it, regardless of whether or not I was there. That's like saying you've been to Japan. Yeah, that's like saying you've been to Japan but only went to the McDonald's. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. It's not the same. There was once where I had like a really long layover, and I was thinking of like just leaving the airport because it was such a long layover, but it was like in the middle of the night, so I ended up not doing it because it's like, man, by the time I like everything's going to be closed because it's like literally, you know, it was like I think midnight to 6 a.m. or something like that, and it's like nothing's going to be open. What city was it? I don't remember. I think it where where are the big international airports? Uh, Toronto, I think. Maybe. Airports are usually so far from the city anyways. Yeah. No, I tried looking to see if it would be worth it. It didn't seem like it would be, you know. And I was by myself and I didn't know the place at all, you know, that too. Plus I had all my like luggage and everything. It's just like, yeah, it starts just everything's just kind of starts compiling and like, okay, so this plus it's like, all right, whatever. I want to visit here, but like not like this. Hi, Dresden. Just a minute, I'll get Dresden if he stays and doesn't run off. Aw, Dresden. Hi, little boy. Say hey to everybody. Yeah, he's so cute. He likes the butt pats. Cookie Monster says Dresden is a city in Germany. I know that. That's probably where um, uh, Jim Butcher. That's probably where he got the name from. But Dresden is also the name of a wizard from the Harry Dresden Files. Um, so technically, his name is Harry, not Dresden, but we call him that his name is Dresden. But yeah, from a book series, the Dresden Files. So his name is Dresden, and then after we got him, we ended up adopting a dog whose name was originally not our name. His name was Wizard. So we adopted Dresden here, and then later we ended up adopting Wizard, which is just funny. That says, did you see the viral video of the guy who broke into some guy's house saying he was Harry Dresden and finally got arrested? No, I didn't. He was either on something or total psychosis, or Dresden magicked his way out of a book. That could be. Maybe he's from, maybe he was from a parallel universe. He can rip his way through the fabric of reality in the series to go into the what is it, the Fey world? So there you go. Dunley, have to get going. Thanks for this stream. Your painting is coming along nicely. Thank you. Appreciate it. See you, Donley. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Hope you feel better. Why bite? Why bite? It's so cute. Dresden, you won't let me paint like this, though. What am I supposed to do? Just stand here? Is this my job now? Just standing here? Pet you? Usually he wants down by now, but today he's just like, nope, I'll stay for a bit longer. Thanks, Dresden. That hurt a lot. Green Monster says I just finished 10 drawings today. That's fantastic. What are you drawing? Is it something in particular or is it small ones, 4 to 7 centimeters? It doesn't matter. Sometimes when things get much smaller, they actually, they get harder. There's like there's a, you know, the curve of like, if you do a graph of like size and ease, at some point they actually get harder. Just abstract dots in all colors and arrangements. Interesting. Like like Damien Hirst. Okay. So wait, Damien Hirst. He's the one who did the balloons, right? Or is that someone else? I get the names mixed up. Damien Hirst. Oh, I know who Damien Hirst is. Fuck that guy. I hate him. Yeah, I don't like him at all. But not well, I mean it's technically because of his art, but yeah, fuck that guy. Um but it doesn't apply to other people directly. I don't like him because he fucking does that bullshit with the animals to like with the shark and everything. Like there's no need for that. And then also I don't like him because a lot of his art is like done as a production. Like the I think it was the thing recently I think it was him who did like a bunch of originals where basically he had like a bunch of workers do everything and then he came at the end and just put on some splotches. Like get the fuck out of here. That's not your art. That's just bullshit. And the like cut up shark, there's no need for that. Like you're killing something just to make a piece of art out of it. Like you can make fake sharks. Movie people do it all the time. Do that. You know. Um, Not only that, he messed that up. So the first shark ended up, if I remember correctly, could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, the first shark actually ended up decomposing and rotting inside of the thing that he made. So he had to go get another shark and redo it. So two sharks for no good reason. And sharks do not breed very quickly. They are, so they do not reproduce very, very quickly. It's just unnecessary. They didn't kill the shark for the purpose of making the museum piece, did they? As far as I know, I guess you could look it up again. It's been a while since I looked into it. It literally was years ago, so I don't remember all the details. But my understanding, I think they did. And then I think like, if I remember correctly, they had to go out and get a second shark, like I said, because the first one rotted inside the the housing that they made for it. But if you look it up and tell me I'm wrong, then my memory is mistaken. I will, you know, that's fine. Actually, I agree with you, Liad. Cookie Monster said, oh, thank you. I mean, I think, I don't know. And the production thing too, like, I get it if you're producing a piece of artwork that is just too large for a single person to do, and you have people help you, to like move things, to do things. I get that. I'm not going to be like, oh, you had help. That's not your art. But come on, man. When you when you're like not even doing most of the artwork, you're just having other people do it for you in a assembly line, and then you come in at the very end and just sprinkle some paint on top of it and call it your own. I mean, what are we talking about here? At that point, you might as well just now you might as well just run it through, you know, through AI and just claim it as your own. About as about as much actual input. You know what I mean? And to be clear, I don't agree with that in general. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to do that, you might as well do the other thing. Like, who cares? I don't think I'd even have an issue with someone who would do kind of like a old school classical mentorship where they have their apprentice do like a bunch of the beginning stages and then they come in and finish. But, you know, that's still more intentional than it is like what I saw him doing with literally walk around with like a buckets of paint and just like dip into it. And this has nothing to do with the fact that he does abstract art. Like it's more an issue of like the amount of work and intentionality he's putting into it, by having other people do all of it. Like how much intentionality can you really put into it? I remember in art school, I had an art teacher um, for one of my paintings. He ended up um, he ended up basically doing a lot of the painting for me because he would, to demonstrate, he would just start painting on my painting. That's fine. It's art school. I'm not making a masterpiece. I'm studying, right? So whatever. But eventually, I just asked him, I was like, hey, I don't mean this to be offensive or in a mean, in any kind of like negative way, but could you just finish the painting and sign it for me? Because I'll take it as an original. Like you know, I'm not going to sign it. It's never going to be my painting. But I'll take one of your paintings, even if it's just a study. And he didn't get offended. He did it. It was cool. That's funny. Yeah, I just don't understand how people. There's just something in general. Like I just don't understand how people want to take credit for stuff they didn't do. Like, look, I use um I use AI for certain things, right? I've started using it a little more recently. Don't use it for my art. That's not even on the table. I've been using it basically to help me with scheduling. Just just basically like the like Google Assistant kind of thing, that type of thing. For the most part. I also use it to help me write like emails and stuff, but very basic things that I just have a hard time with because I'm dyslexic and the like breaking to do that can sometimes be really hard for me. Like shifting into that mode can be challenging, but it's never anything that like matters, like I just want a official sounding email so that when I write this company, whatever that I'm asking for a refund or something, they just, it just sounds more like put together. But I could never like, I could never write something and just have someone else write it for me, whether it be AI or a person, and claim it as my own. I just don't I never understood how people do that. Like all the AI people, all the people who are like using AI to fake being an artist, I can't fathom it. I just don't understand it at all. I think they believe they are being artists. I don't know. I just can't. I don't know. I can't fathom it. It's just it's one of those things that I just don't understand. Like I know what the things I make are. I could like, and I don't want to take credit for things that I haven't done. Like I would feel. I just imagine like building. Like just imagine becoming a successful artist, and the whole time you're just hiding the fact that you didn't actually make the stuff that you that you're successful for, I can't imagine how awful that would feel. Like yeah, like I just can't fathom that. I feel like it would feel so horrendously bad. Don't get me wrong. I have no problem. Camera, follow me. I have no problem. Like if you told me, hey, just do this with like AI and put out this slop and you'll make a lot of money. If I as long as I disclose it, I'll do that. I'll sell out to make money. In that sense, I'm not going to claim it's mine. I'll be upfront about it, but if I could make a lot of money, yeah, I would like to make a lot of money. That would be nice. I couldn't imagine lying about it. Cookie Monster says artists are so highly regarded that some people are now trying to fake it with AI, but it's all a matter of ego. I guess. I don't know. I feel like artists are weird. It's weird because artists are highly regarded, but also very negatively regarded too, or uh, not regarded very well. So it's really a strange thing to fake. And it's also very strange to fake because, I mean, obviously some artists make a lot of money, but most, don't. So it seems like such a weird thing to like fake. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's probably all a thing of ego. There was an artist recently that me and Des found that I suspect I'm not going to name them because I don't want to get into that, but I suspect that they're an AI artist, even though even though they're a capable artist without AI. I think they used AI to kind of speed up their development, so to speak, and then got trapped in it. Um, and I think that they were kind of stuck with it for a while. I think they just recently got like called out or something because a bunch of their stuff just disappeared from their online, uh, you know, platforms. So I don't know, but I'm not going to call them out because I'm not for sure on it either way. Trying to add just a little more color to the face to add just a little bit more, separation to things. Give it just a little more dimension, but very subtle too. I don't know that my camera is capable of capturing the subtleties right now in this, but very, very subtle differences here. I will say the stuff with Shadiversity, the guy online who like is brothers with he's Jazz's brother. His whole thing, the way he like the way all the AI stuff has affected him and how it's kind of made him go crazy is interesting. It's sad too because it's literally like torn two brothers apart. And I'm sure AI is not the only part about that. But I mean, it's still sad. Okay. I think that's done. Now, I think the only thing that I really wanted to add is a little bit in the hair. But yeah, he has if anyone doesn't know, Shad is a YouTube creator, and his brother is Jazza, who is an art YouTuber who had has a pretty successful channel over the years, a very successful channel. But he's been like the entry point for a lot of people into art over the years. And his brother thinks he can draw and he can't. And now he uses AI to pretend that he can draw. And it's so hilariously bad. And the funny thing is, there's my favorite part is like there's a he posted a thing trying to show like how the AI stuff is his art, and he was doing like uh he was generating illustrations of like Supergirl and stuff. And um the funniest thing, which to me just kind of shows like how little AI art is really your own stuff. There's one image where there's a Supergirl is just standing there, and there's a little baby hand inside, like her hands like kind of closed, kind of like this, just at her side, like not at this angle, but like at her side. And inside of her hand, like in the gap, there's a little baby hand. And it's like, clearly that wasn't intentional, but, you know, it's just there. All right. I was going to say, I think I'm done with this, but there's one. I don't like this one little bit right here. Nope. Okay, now I think it's done. Yeah, I think so. How long have I been streaming? Oh, thanks, Cookie Monster. I appreciate it. I like how the gold came out. I'm glad I broke up some of it because it was very like big and chunky, which was pretty as gold, but I don't think that it fit the theme as well. All right, hold on a second. All right, let's do two things. One, I'm gonna move this so I can put the painting up there, but also gives us an opportunity to kind of view the gold next to the other gold. Um, let's see. This gold, so much shinier. Don't get me wrong, this one at the right angle shines. This one, so much shinier. This is fake gold, technically. Oh, this one's imitation gold. This one's real gold. This is real gold leaf. I don't even want to think about how much it cost me just to put this little bit of gold. So silly. It's so silly, the price on it, but it's not like hundreds of dollars. Don't get me wrong. It's not. But it's still way more expensive. But, the real stuff is the real stuff. It won't tarnish. Let me see real quick. Um, shoot. It's it's time for me to feed the animals. They need to be dinner time for them now. I'm just debating if I want to try paint something else on stream or end stream, go feed them, not worry about running back, you know? Uh, Yeah, I think I'll just end stream here. It feels like a good cutoff point. Um, yeah, I think so. Hey, look, Cookie Monster says I'm looking forward to seeing your next painting. Oh, thank you, appreciate it. Yeah. Um, I still need to get back to my self-portrait at some point and put the gold on that one, but that's gonna have to wait just a little bit for now. Oh well. Um, Thank you very much, Cookie Monster. I appreciate it. Thank you everyone for being here. I think I'm gonna call it a day. I know it's a short stream today. Um, I have to go feed the animals, and that's going to take me like 20 minutes. So just seems like it's a good point to end the stream. Um, but yeah, I'll be back next Sunday. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything. Yeah, I'll be back next Sunday. Thanks so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. Uh, and I don't know, have a good night, rest of your weekend and everything. It was nice hanging out here. Thanks, Cookie Monster. I'm glad. I wish I could stream more. I just right now just don't have the time, unfortunately. But I do really enjoy it. I like having you all here. It's really fun. Des says going to try and figure out how to stream in the meantime. That's great, Des. Looking forward to it. If you need help, let me know. Um, and yeah, have a good night, everybody, and see you next Sunday. Bye.